The woodland walks here on the approaches to the towers are well worth the trip. You can find a diverse range of trees like horse chestnut, holly, hazel, ash, oak, sycamore and spruce. The main avenue runs beside a beautiful little stream and is planted with poplars and rhododendrons, with a number of benches to take the load off your feet while you sit and enjoy this magical place. The Kiely family was from the Knockenour area. Brothers Arthur and John married two sisters named Martin from the Ross townland. John leased or bought Strancally and built a spectacular imitation castle there. Arthur had been in the Napoleonic Wars and on his return built a house at a place he named Giles Court, possibly the present Glencairn, west of Lismore, on the south bank of the River Blackwater. Local tradition still recalls that 10 men were drowned while crossing the River Blackwater to work on the house, an ominous presage of future developments. At about the time he decided to adorn the plebeian name Kiely with the addition of Ussher. In 1817 he purchased the Ballysaggartmore estate from George Holmes Jackson, while a few of the tenants on the estate had life tenancies. The majority had short leases. The new landlord was thus able to clear out about 40 families from the site which he had selected on which to build a house. Over the next 15 years or so, he seems to have been continuously building. The mansion built by Kiely-Ussher was later described as unpretending, though well built and commodious, within a large quadrangle enclosing a court 150 yards by 103. What now attracts attention is the spectacular gate lodge and the grandiose towered bridge. Commentators suggest that Kiely-Ussher ran out of money after building them and never built a mansion. This is an understandable mistake because no road now connects the grand entrance with the courtyarded house, and the original avenue was nearly 3 miles long due to the way it was made to bend and twist over what otherwise would have been about a mile's distance. The two follies are commonly called the towers and represent two entranceways into Arthur Kiely-Ussher's estate here at Ballysaggartmore. The first is the main entrance and is a gate lodge, which is where the bailiff would have resided to control access in and out of the estate. The second is another gate lodge with a bridge built over a small stream. They were built in the 1830s before the famine and were to be the entrance into his grand estate and house. The follies were built to satisfy the jealousy of Kiely-Ussher's wife, who wanted an estate to rival that of Strancally Castle. Her sister and her brother-in-law Arthur's brother, John Ussher, lived at Strancally and had built a spectacular castle at the site. As a result, Arthur Kiely set out to build an estate just as grand as Strancally, and the two follies were the start of this. There were two structures with beautiful design to purposely demonstrate the wealth and power of Arthur Kiely. However, Arthur Kiely was not a nice landlord and was commonly referred to as the bad landlord. When he arrived at Ballysaggart, he kicked out several tenants to have more room for his grand estate. He removed many of them off the good land so that he could use it for his own use, and moved them onto poor land, making it harder for them to farm, earn money and pay their rent. He would rather them give up their land and let them into the workhouse before giving them extra time to pay their rent. It became easy for him to remove the tenants that could not pay their rent when the famine hit in 1845. He even took barley and rye from one family, with the family not having enough food to feed themselves, while many other families were evicted from their land and had to go to the workhouse in Lismore, where there was little food and much disease and sickness. Unfortunately, Arthur Kiely ran out of money and was unable to build the grand house that he had set out to do. Although this did not prevent any attempts on his life, a group of locals met and discussed with the local priest, Dr. Fogarty, who agreed with the people that they were treated unfairly. However, many of the locals wanted something to be done about it. One man, John Kiely, who was on the verge of being evicted, called a meeting, and they decided that Arthur Kiely should be killed, and John O'Keefe was the man to do the job. Over the next few days, Keefe familiarized himself with the area and the lodges, and selected a place in the bushes at the entrance where he could shoot Arthur Kiely. When Arthur Kiely was driving up to his estate, O'Keefe shot at him, but he missed, and Keefe ran away into the woods. After that, a reward was offered to anyone that had information about the attempt on Arthur Kiely's life. For many, this was a chance to earn some money, as many had known about the shooting, and not long after many had told them that O'Keefe and Kiely were involved in the plot to assassinate Arthur Kiely. A trial took place shortly afterwards, with many giving evidence, including Dr. Fogarty, who vouched for the two men as peaceful, honest, hard-working men. However, the two men were found guilty and sentenced to deportation for life. Arthur Kiely, being the bad landlord that he was, did not stop there and wanted further prosecutions on the people that threatened his life. In October 1849, 6 men from Ballysaggart, plus 1 from Ardon, were deported to Van Diemen's Land. They had been charged with conspiring to kill their landlord, Arthur Kiely-Ussher, by hiring a hitman named John O'Keefe from Ardon. Kiely-Ussher is better known as the man who built the Grand Lodge and Towered Bridge, which is now such a tourist attraction here at Ballysaggartmore. Kiely-Ussher died in 1862, and the estate was sold by a liquidator. The house, gardens and some of the lands were purchased by the Woodruff family, and these were later owned by a family named Anson. The house was destroyed by an arson attack during the Civil War period, and the ruined stone fabric was removed in the mid-20th century.